Yo, are you ready for the Libra Full Moon? April 12th, 8:22 p.m. Eastern, 23 degrees, Aries season? Time for some unconditional love. Let's talk about it. Pew! Hello everybody, Eric Taylor, Astrology, back with another transit video. Today I am talking about the Libra Full Moon, Aries season, and it's April 12th. Now what's interesting, later that day, the ruler of this moon, or should I say later that evening, because it will be 5:22 p.m. Pacific, 8:22 p.m. Eastern, Venus stations direct, okay? So Venus going direct as the moon is full at 23 degrees in Libra, Aries season, there's a lot of energy. Now, we're going to get to the chart, but what's going on right now, we have Neptune in Aries. This Libra moon is opposing Chiron, the wounded healer in Aries, conjunct the sun. And we have a sun-moon T-square with Mars and Cancer, which April 18th will leave and enter the sign of Leo the Lion. So there's a lot of changes going on, and this T-square is really speaking to us vibrating and finding that harmony and peace, and the ruler being in Pisces where it's exalted, being able to emotionally practice compassion, empathy, grace, and mercy for ourselves first, and then outwardly, got a nose itch, to others, okay? This is a powerful energy. And, you know, when the sun and moon are T-squaring Mars, it's speaking to how we behaving with our families and our homes, and how are we behaving with our emotional discipline, spiritual discipline, practicing love, compassion, harmony, peace, grace, and mercy, and empathy for our fellow neighbor, for our family members, for ourselves. This Libra full moon is bringing us an awareness that agape Christ-like love, the ruler, Venus and Pisces, it's time for us to move forward with a new energy, a new intention. Stop the vitriol and the division. Really focus on how can we, as we seek this freedom and liberation, we may all have different desires and different thoughts and directions, but how can we intentionally move forward where we're at least trying to understand our own sacred humanity, our own position? I'm not saying this is easy energy, and the Libra full moon is kind of coming in to solidify this new year. And with these planetary alignments and Mercury already going direct on the 7th, and then Venus going direct later on the 12th, how are we going to move forward and take this fuel? Because the Aries season is going to start to like, boom, 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 quick, fast, in a hurry, okay? And then the 18th, Mars going to Leo. Like, there's a lot of energy. So how can we be more fair and just? How can we become the president and leaders of our own lives, but still consider the other half? Still be compassionate and empathetic to our fellow man, our neighbor, our partner, our children, our parents. We have this responsibility. We're built for this, so we can do more than two things at once. And so this Libra full moon, even though there's a T-square, it's giving us an opportunity as we get ready to say goodbye to Mars and Cancer and Venus stationing direct. How can we coexist with one another and find some justice, some harmony, some peace, and some love? Okay? We can do it. There's a lot going on. And this full moon, there's some endings, some things coming to light about playing the victim, being passive aggressive, That's why I say we have to say goodbye to the old versions of ourselves and the old structures and systems. And then how can we move forward with a new intention that we're choosing to be more peaceful, harmonious, balanced? We're choosing to consider humanity in other people. We're choosing to not play victim and see where we are self-reliant, self-accepting, and self-responsibility for our actions. If you mistreat somebody, correct it, right? Just like with these wars and occupations and genocide and mistreating people, it's time to do better. God is watching. Our ancient galactic ancestors are watching. The clock is ticking. The fifth dimension is here. The veil is super thin. How are you going to move forward and really consider to be a sovereign human being that's part of a collective, but having individual responsibility to move forward positively, treating others the way you want to be treated and the way you know your grandma raised you to treat others the proper way. Stop acting like you don't know what's prejudice or racist. Stop acting like you don't know what's sexist. Stop acting like you can't respect somebody because they have a different religion. It's foolishness. It's time to grow up. Stop acting like you're the only one that struggles and suffers, or you're the only one that has rights to a land or to a this or to a job. No. We need real respect, love, and equality. Let's get to the chart. Libra, full moon, Aries season, 23 degrees, April 12th, 8:22 p.m. Eastern. BigEAstro. Pew. All right, let's look at this chart. I'm looking at 5:22 p.m. Pacific, 8:22 p.m. Eastern. Obviously, April 12th. Venus is still retrograde, but it's a Libra rising and a Libra moon. Maybe a little different if you're on the East Coast, New York or whatever. 23 degrees, which is, that is at the Jupiter lunar mansion, and it's the Libra Gemini decan, okay? And Venus is still retrograde. It's getting ready to go direct, okay? But you see that down here, the Venus in Pisces, the fish, exalted, okay? So remember, the Mars in Cancer is trining, right? This, now it's at 27 degrees, but it's still trining the Venus and the Saturn and the North Node and Mercury, okay? So this is about the spiritual discipline, the spiritual intention, right? Venus being the ruler of this Libra moon, and then we see in Aries, the Libra moon is opposing the Chiron and the sun. The part of fortune's in the other half, in the 7th house. So this is where, honestly, when we come together as a people, right? Think about the People's Union USA, but we have to realize our financial power, but through even our power to come together to commune, to build community, to build farms, to build free energy, to have, homing, everything. Collectives, right? My Knowledge is Love tribe community, we can make spiritual and financial blessings for the other half, but for the collective, the whole. This Libra moon on the ascendant, it's about trying to, right, Mars Cancer, have healthy emotions, to have balance and peace, to be able to negotiate and be fair and just in a collective, but at the same time, be responsible for our actions and our words to lead properly. This is not anything that's really difficult. It's just going to be different from how we've been moving in the past. This full moon is letting you know you can't move as a program cog in the matrix anymore, or in cognitive dissonance, and that's going to be acceptable by God's source creator energy in the universe. No, that's what I'm saying. We not only have to say goodbye to the old structures and systems, we have to say goodbye to the old versions of ourselves and the way we've been dancing on this globe. Guess what? We're getting D's and F's. We have not been doing good enough as human beings, as humanity, taking care of the ocean, taking care of the animals, taking care of nature and the trees. Step up, be better, do better, and have a different intention. Okay? It's really not hard. It's very simple, but this moon gives us the fuel and the opportunity to do so, right? The Saturn sextiling the Uranus. Through our spiritual discipline, we can ground in earth and nature and get the downloads, right? This Jupiter at 17, it's not squaring really anything in Pisces because it's already all past that. Yeah, maybe Ceres, goddess of harvest, okay? So we have to think about how we nurture and care for ourselves, our farming, our food, right? No GMOs, right? No toxins and chemicals. Right? This is why I always tell you about Wifey's line, organic and vegan body and skincare. But be maniacal, intentional about if you know, like, right, I always tell you, right, if I grow strawberries and pineapples and you grow broccoli and kale or spinach, we trade, then we both have fruits and vegetables. How hard is that? So I just feel like this is an opportunity to be fair and just, but to negotiate out of a place where you're not being a victim and you're increasing your compassion, empathy, grace, and mercy. Venus, Pisces, exalted, agape, Christ-like love. We have the fuel and energy of the planets moving direct. The planets align to your chakras. Everything in the universe is vibration, energy, and frequency. When we align with these planets and we put on these new clothes, we can become the best versions of ourselves, becoming the Jedi, D-J-E-D-I, the Jedi, masters of our own fate, healers, cellular memory. We can heal ourselves. R.I.P. Sharian Char. You understand? I mean, it's very simple. And remember, Uranus on the 7-7 portal is going into Gemini. Jupiter, June 9th, is going into Cancer. I'll be talking about this on Coffee Talk this morning, right? April 12th. So please come to Coffee Talk, but at the same time, really think about this Libra full moon and think about how have you been fair and just in your neighborhood with your neighbors, strangers, people in the community, right? Siblings, cousins, you know? We have got to be intentional about how we're dancing on this planet and be intentional about how we're treating one another. There's no reason to play victim, and there's no reason to be like, oh, I've had it worse than you. I've had it rough than you. In some ways, we've all had it bad. We've all been lied to. History is his story, right? It's time to live in the truth and learn the truth, right? There's nothing wrong about learning about the real history, right? Christopher Columbus did not discover America. Benjamin Banneker designed Washington, D.C. It should be called Banneker City. Lewis Latimer advanced the light bulb for the filament so that we could have real light and electricity from Thomas Edison. And there were a lot of black inventors who did not get the credit. But just because if you weren't taught this in school doesn't mean that, black people have invented a ton of things. The internet, the cell phone, open heart surgery, the doorknob. I mean, goodness gracious, come on. And there are a lot of things you haven't been taught. A lot of things you don't know about humanity, about the Moors civilizing Europe. This is what we're talking about, right? And they talk about, critical race theory. No, white kids are not going to shrivel up and shrink and die in school if they learn real black history. And if you're a white mother or father and parent and you're afraid of the truth, then you've got to check yourself. Come on now, we're big boys, big girls, we're adults here. We got to stop this. Christopher Columbus discovered America. No, he didn't. Even the second and third graders know the truth. Okay? So let's focus on self acceptance, self reliance, but dealing in reality with truth and agape Christ like love. Having this Uranus Saturn sextile, having the Aries. Now remember, this is in the at 23 degrees. The lunar mansion behind it is Venus. We've got to initiate proper love, compassion, grace, and mercy in relationships. Okay? I mean, it's really simple. And to me, it shouldn't be a debate or discussion. And this Pluto in Aquarius, at this time, we've got to think about, and the Pisces North Node, how we can improve and increase our health, vibrating from authenticity, love, joy, and gratitude. We can do this. You can do this. We can be sovereign and still make money and still consider others. We can chew bubblegum and walk do jump rope at the same time. Capitalism does not breed humanism. We can change the ways we've been going, because if we don't, we will all burn and destroy our societies. The alarms are ringing. Are you choosing the 5D and sovereignty and truth and love and authenticity? Or are you choosing the matrix, the 3D, the programming, the cognitive dissonance, and accepting the lies and just greed and every man for themselves? It's a clear choice. It's really simple. Raise your EQ, Mars and Cancer. Protect your home, safety, security. But be willing to barter and trade. Have equal energy exchanges with me or anybody else. You book a chart reading with me, I give you everything I got. But you got to honor and respect that too. Okay? So, to me, this is a great opportunity to end the passive aggressive victimhood mentality and to end the lack of equality, the lack of balance, the lack of justice and fairness. The legal system is a joke. It's all lies. Can we fix America and the world? We can. But we have to demand as the citizens, we're overtaxed. We have to demand that our government doesn't just waste our money. We have to demand all of this. Everything that's been happening has got to happen. I'm not saying it's fair or just or right the way it's going down, but know that it's not about one or two people. This is way deeper than that. I got to sip my tea. Okay? So that's it. The Libra full moon. It's a great energy. Let's stay positive. Let's embrace the emotional intelligence, the spiritual discipline, manifesting through water. This Mars trining, okay? Yeah, it's squaring the sun and moon, the T-square, but it's trining the North Node. It's trining Mercury. It's trining Saturn, Venus. So it's discipline. It's the relationships, the self-love, how we communicate, tapping into the spiritual realm, our intuition, and our destiny and fate. When we treat each other like family, because we are all related as human beings, we can do anything. Happy Libra full moon. Keep the faith. Stay positive. I'm not saying any of this is easy. But you can control your actions, your words, and your thoughts. And if you feel like you can't, then you need to get away from the 5G towers and these energy blasts, and you need to get grounded in nature and tap into your crystals. Turn off the television and the cell phones and get the Moldavite and obsidian and the crystals and protect your energy. There's real problems if you can't control your thoughts and the intention of your heart. All right? I love you, and I hope you enjoy this Libra full moon. Always reach out. Aries birth chart sale ends on the 19th. Eric at BigEAstrology.com. Aries sun, moon, risings, natal, solar return, second hand progression. But enjoy this Libra full moon that is emotionally seeking balance. We're seeking emotional intelligence and taking spiritual action to initiate spiritual discipline in your practice. It should be 30 minutes to an hour a day, but at least try 3 to 5 minutes if you can't do anything else. Breath work, yoga, hiking, walking, manifesting in the water, toning, positive mindset, stillness, quietness, breath work in and out of the nose. You got this. And I'm here to help you. Eric Taylor, BigEAstrology. Pew. All right, Libra full moon. You know, with the lunar mansion behind it, Jupiter, and the Libra Gemini deacon, we have got to communicate and really have the intention that we're not playing the victims, we're not being passive aggressive. We're going to practice compassion, empathy, grace, and mercy for ourselves first, but be fair and just and equally share it with the community and others. Whoever the others are in your personal life, but even when you're in society. You can smile at somebody in the grocery store, at the bank, in the gym. You can, let somebody have the right of way in your car. You can say good morning or grand rising. You can smile, give someone a compliment. Oh, I love your glasses. I love your shirt. Oh, those are great shoes. You look beautiful today, ma'am. You look handsome today, sir. Can we be a little bit more human? I think we can. Have and set the intention, being your true authentic self, vibrating from your heart chakra with gratitude, joy, and love every day. Happy Libra full moon. Eric Taylor, BigEAstrology. Spiritual discipline is the key, and that's the prescription from Dr. Eric Astrology. All right. Libra full moon, April 12th, 8:22 p.m. Eastern, 23 degrees. BigEAstrology. Later.